Two brothers embark on a journey to the magical world of Jungleland on Film Dirt Reviews. Hi, I'm Alan Ng. I'm with Zorianna Kit, and today we review Jungleland. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below as to what you thought about the film. Jungleland is a love story between two brothers whose bond is tested as they hustle and scrape their way toward the American dream. It's directed by Max Winkler, stars Charlie Hunnam, Jack O'Connell, Jessica Bardem, Jonathan Majors, and John Cullum. This is one of those sibling road trip type movies where everything goes from bad to worse. Zorianna, what did you think of Jungleland?
Oh, I really, really like this movie. It's a movie that I'm still thinking about now, even though I watched it like a week ago. And to me, that's a mark of a really good movie when you're actually wondering what the characters are up to now and what they're doing and how things played out for them. You know, on the surface, it's you think it's a boxing movie. One brother is a talented boxer, and the other one is sort of his manager. But they're poor, they're downtrodden, they're almost rednecky. They're squatters. They owe money to so many different people, and they have to go on this road trip to a particular location for a particular fight. And they are also given someone to take along the way. And that person herself is a little bit mysterious, and she threatens to come in between the brothers in a way that either could be threatening or kind of exposes the codependency between the two brothers and sort of encourages them to, or one of them to maybe break free from the other brother. So it's kind of up to you if you think that that's a good idea for this brotherly bond to break or not. But in the end, it's a story about resilience. It's a story about how the family ties that bind really strongly together. And I was very, very invested in these two characters. The acting by Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy and Jack O'Connell from Unforgiven was superb. These are two British actors, and they're playing like the most middle American, trashy class, very much downtrodden, wherever it was that they're from.
Yeah.
I was fully in the story.
Okay, so clearly you liked it a lot better than I did. I thought it was good, but this is the thing I hate doing as a critic. But I just felt that this way of, I've seen so many of these sibling road movies that they just, you've got to really stand out of the pack to really shine nowadays, especially when you just see so many that I do. And I try not to be biased like that, but I definitely felt that way here. I mean, I kept thinking, Hell or High Water, just how great that movie was. And, this is not as good as that. But there were definitely elements in it that I was intrigued by. But I just really had a hard time loving it as much as you did. I mean, what was it about the story that really struck?
It was this, to me, it was this character study between these two brothers. They're not educated. One has a talent. The other one just doesn't at all, but somehow is the brains behind the business. Mm-hmm. And everything they do, they make it worse.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely the hustler of the two. And it's that, it's that hustle that kind of does them in. And to me, that's the intriguing part of the family aspect of these stories, is the fact that these two individuals are paired up only because of blood, because they are brothers. And you wonder if they weren't brothers, if they would even be friends with each other, or even want to be friends with each other.
But they're stuck together, and the relationship is codependent because they have no one else. They have no one else to rely on. And that's why when this young girl enters the picture, she begins to challenge the younger brother's beliefs about family and brotherhood and stuff like that. But at the same time, there is love there, no matter what. I mean, the older brother does say, like, oh my gosh, he's so talented. I'll never know what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, I think where this stands apart from these sibling brother movies, sibling road trip, is they're not fighting each other. There's no conflict necessarily where, you know, they hated each other coming in, which is usually how these stories play out. So Stan is definitely the hustler of the two. He's the one who's exploiting his brother Lion as the boxer and using his talents and abilities to pay off his debts, to get favors. And then you have a girl who comes in who you don't know why she's there. And as you soon discover, they form a sympathy yet slash obligation to go through with what they have to do with her. And, you know, and I do like that aspect of it, taking these characters and challenging their characters, challenge their integrity and their desires and dreams and their loyalty as brothers, which ultimately happens, you know, as these stories do at the end. So I did like it. I just, you know, I just didn't feel like, you know, I saw something necessarily great.
I'm so sorry for you then.
You know, like I said, I mentioned Hell or High Water. Even Rounders is that kind of a story, and you know, it's one of those where, you know, those two, Rounders and Hell or High Water, are so high on my list that a film like this tends to probably drop lower than it really should.
I also thought the music was really interesting. The title of the film, Jungleland, you find out that the match that they're going to is to a fight that's called Jungleland. But the thing is, it's also a very famous Bruce Springsteen song. And it's interesting that at the end, when they're actually in Jungleland having the fight, that it's not Bruce Springsteen's Jungleland that ends up playing. It actually ends up being a whole totally different Bruce Springsteen song. And that song works. And it's so interesting because you just think Jungleland, Bruce Springsteen. And Bruce Springsteen is, you know, the blue collar guy, which is what our characters are. So I also enjoyed that. I want to mention this film is directed by Max Winkler, who is the son of Henry Winkler. And he's directed a lot of television, a lot of comedy, like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Fresh Off the Boat, New Girl. But he's done a few feature films before. I think one was called The Ceremony, the other Flower. And they've been a little bit more on the darker side, some comedic aspects. This is definitely different. This film is not nothing comedic here.
It's a very grounded drama. It's dark. It's also slow moving, which works perfectly for the story being told here.
I always find it interesting when the offspring of super famous people who grew up in the industry are able to make a film completely different from their own background and actually capture that, because I felt that this was the case here. I mean, he's got the dingy bus stops and the gross diners and the disgusting bathrooms where they're having sex in, and you want these brothers to get out of that world, and that's what they want, but they keep falling in deeper and deeper and deeper. And so I really dove into this world alongside with them.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely falls in line with classic tragedies, family tragedies. Okay, so just the fact that you connected so much with this, you love the acting, the music, the film all around. I'm gonna think you gave it an 8.5.
8.5. That is exactly right.
There you
exactly go. Right. So you think you've seen this film before 1,000,000 times over and better done? I think you probably gave it a 6.
No, I gave it a 7. I mean, it was good. You know, it's a good, solid story. You know, but again, good, not great. And so it's a good, you know, see it. You're gonna have a good time. And then you'll go see Hell or High Water. Okay, so with that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below on what you thought of Jungleland. And with that, let's get out of here.